Right. Let's see. What I'm gonna name tonight? Probably do metal. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's see. Community together. That shit crazy. Metaphysical consciousness. Spelling that wrong. Conscious. Alright. Is that too long? Nah, we good. Community of metaphysical consciousness. Alright. What's poppin', y'all? Get that on my shoulder real quick. I appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody's feeling, everybody good, everybody copacetic. You know how we do. We're going to vibe out real quick. Let everybody come on in. Man. We're going to vibe out. Get your oodles and noodles. You feel me? Go ahead and roll up. Get your fresh juice. You know what I'm saying? Get your juice. Get all you need. Tonight going to be some, you know what I mean? Y'all know how we do it, man. Yeah, you see the shirt. I got the shirt on today. I'm gonna calm it down a little bit today. I got the shirt on, man.
Look, it's gold roses in my bathtub. Water hot, Epsom salt with some essential rubs. It's gold roses on my floor too. I want God, you might as well paint my floor blue. It's gold roses in my bedroom. Bandanas hanging down, that's my red room. Look, it's gold roses in my kitchen too. Everything I cook is vegan, ain't no chicken soup. Look, I write my goals and follow through, cause that's my focus. I meet my goals halfway, cause that's the local. If that shit destroy my peace, I don't care what that is. Grab a lighter, burn some sage, I don't know what that is. It's all good, keep it moving, keep that vibe right. Make sure you meditate to keep that mind right. Burn some sage, keep it moving, keep that vibe right. Make sure you meditate to keep that mind right. It's gold roses in my bathtub. Water hot, Epsom salt with some essential rubs. It's gold roses on my floor too. I want God, might as well put my floor.
Don't do me like that.
It's gold roses in my bedroom.
Don't do me like that, man.
That's my red room. It's gold roses in my kitchen too. Everything I cook is vegan, ain't no chicken soup. All my niggas breathe in. All my niggas breathe out. Hey, burn some, matter of fact, burn some Palo Santo, huh? Look. Hey, take a break and smell the flowers while you still can. Better tell your folks you love them while you still can. It's gold roses in my blunt when I smoke too. Spiritual practice with these songs make me float too. These next 3 days I ain't eating, see I'm fasting. Feeling closer to my God, I got passion. See, I used to carry hate, but I got past it. So much pain up in my heart, it had me lashing. Rosemary on my temples, help with migraines. It's an honor being of service, that's on my name. A God amongst men, you can't touch me now. Controlling all my urges, you can't fuck me now. It's gold roses in my bathtub. Water hot, Epsom salt with some essential rubs. It's gold roses on my floor too. I walk God, you might as well paint my floor blue. It's gold roses in my bedroom. Bandanas hanging down, that's my red room. It's gold roses in my kitchen too. Everything I cook is vegan, ain't no chicken soup. A God amongst men, you can't touch me now. Controlling all my urges, you can't fuck me now. A God amongst men, you can't touch me now. Controlling all my urges, you can't fuck me now.
Yeah, you know, we vibing out. Let everybody come on in. Go ahead and get relaxed. Kick your feet up. Get your oodles and noodles. Go ahead and roll up. Get your seeded grapes, your seeded watermelons, your juices. You know, yeah, we vibing out right now. Let everybody come on in, you know.
Yeah.
If I didn't, darling, I'm sorry.
Look, if I ain't tell you that I love you, well, I promise I do. Sometimes, yeah, I may forget, but you ain't walked in my shoes. So much trauma down that road, you had no choice, huh? You trying to speak, but they wouldn't listen, you had no voice, huh? See, I understand how you feeling, no more feelings, huh? See, I understand your love healing, but it's killing, huh? It's like your heart was up for grabs and they just stealing, huh? That ice running through your veins, now you chilling, huh? See, I'm just trying to give more than I receive now. I started meditating, trying to find some peace now. I changed my diet, vibrating higher, no sheeps now. And burn some sage, make your bed, change your sheets now. If I ain't tell you I love you, well I do. Seeing this blunt, I got lavender and chamomile. I'm sitting back, reminiscing, I ain't have a meal. I'm speaking affirmations to the sun and the sunlight. Angels around me, brazen eyes, escape that gunfight. I feel the chill up in my bones, my spirit elevated. It's like I'm finally going home. You gotta learn to love yourself before you love someone else. You gotta learn to give it out before you get it for yourself. See, what you get is what you give. Your life is your state of mind. You living how you live. Respect yourself, nigga. Yeah, your life is your reflection. Bless yourself, nigga. And stop looking like everything is outside of you. Yeah, the moon, the stars is all inside of you. Look yourself in the mirror, do what you gotta do. And drop tears, cut off tears is what you gotta do. Focus on yourself, don't let nobody bother you. And understand what you desire, shit desire you. If I ain't tell you that I love you, well, I promise I do. Sometimes, yeah, I may forget, but you ain't walked in my shoes. So much trauma down the road, you had no choice, huh? I'm trying to speak, they wouldn't listen, you had no voice, huh? See, I understand how you feeling, no more feelings, huh? See, I understand your love healing, and it's killing, huh?
Y'all come on in, man. Y'all know we just vibing out real quick. Let everybody come on in. Come on in, vibe out, man. Y'all like some sage, like some Palo Santo, some sweet grass, some blood sage, whatever you got to light up. Get the energy right. You know what I'm saying? Do a few deep breaths. Get your oodles and noodles. Go ahead and roll up. You know what I'm saying? Your beans and weenies, your fruits, your seeded grapes, your seeded watermelons. The black seeds, by the way, not the white ones, okay? That's how you know it's organic. It can reproduce itself. You know what I mean? If you eating a salad, go ahead. If you eat some crab legs, that's okay too, baby. You feel me? You know, I always say, don't worry about the messenger. It's all about the message. You know what I mean? It's that shit right here, though, my mama.
Yeah.
That boy right here went brazy on my mama.
Look. My bitches as a ride. My bitches as a ride. My bitches as a ride. My bitches as a see, lately I've been protecting my peace. I went to the land of Pineal, I've been protecting my seat. Even though I talk to spirits, I still come for the streets. A big step, but still a gangster, I'm protecting my feet. I've been meditating, doing shadow work, I'm feeling some shit. I've been trying to open my heart chakra, I'm feeling some shit. Yeah, I'm vibrating high, but I still beat your ass. And I don't really talk too much, but I teach your class. Yeah. And I still ride for my people. When I speak, I shake the room. I got some shit I can teach you. We don't vibrate the same, but I still pray I can reach you. A lost soul up in your eyes, just don't let it defeat you. 7 days within my fast, I'm on some emotional shit. I ain't even go outside, fuck the social shit. A lot of voices that I'm feeling, yeah, I'm controlling this shit. Yeah, I'm facing all my fears, yeah, I'm approaching this shit. My bitches as a ride. My bitches as a ride. My bitches as a ride. My bitches as a see, lately I've been protecting my peace. Went to the land of Pineal, I've been protecting my seat. Even though I taught the spirits, I still come from the streets. A big step, still a gangster, I'm protecting my feet. Yeah. I'm protecting my feet. Yeah. I'm protecting my feet. A big step, still a gangster, I'm protecting my feet. Even though I taught the spirits, I still come from the streets. I swear I tried, baby. I guess that's just my ambition, that's right. My ambitions as a man. I tried.
Yeah, y'all know what the
Tears coming down my face, so I had to make this song. So I had to make this song.
I cry. Yeah, y'all ain't know a nigga can get out, huh? Yeah, I can, you know what I'm saying? I can get jiggy a little something, you feel me? A nigga can get loose. You know what I'm saying? For those that's asking, this song is not out yet. For those that's asking, this song is not out yet. I'm working on my album. My album will be dropping April, you feel me, of next year, 2023. It will be titled, I Am a Great Man. My second album after that, the follow-up is going to be like, the name of it is going to be, I'm going to show you how great I am. And then the last series of the I Am a Great Man is, I told you I was a great man. So yeah, that song is not out yet. I'm working on the album. So I'm just building up on a lot of songs. You feel what I'm saying? So I can go back, pick and choose what's going to be on the album. And next year, all the other songs will be out. Anywho, how everybody is feeling. Everybody good. We back on here, you know, with another community gathering. You know what I'm saying? Going brazy. How everybody feeling? Everybody feeling good? Everybody feeling copacetic? You double checked it? Huh? You know, I got my juice. I was going to get some tea, but I ran out of spring water making my walnut milk. So you know how I go. I'm like, shit, fuck it. I'ma just bust down the juice tonight. Don't even trip. Everybody good though? Everybody copacetic? The way that muff could just pour, you feel me? Like, oof. Everybody good? How everybody doing? No, talk to me. What's going on? Everybody good? Everybody copacetic? Before we even dive in, everybody good? Let me burn this frankincense real quick, get the energy right. Full, too blessed to be stressed. I love it. I love it. I'm trying to come to your house. Come on. Shit, man, my door open. Listen, actually, as a matter of fact, I don't know if y'all seen, but I'm gonna be throwing an in-person community gathering dinner real soon. Tickets gonna be on sale. So shit, if you wanna pull up, you can pull up. All vegan food will be served, by the way. You know what I'm saying? The vegan food. I'm gonna be the cook. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about either having some good vegan soul food, because of course, you know, we all love soul food. Or I was thinking about doing some vegan Jamaican food. You know what I'm saying? Like some jerk mushrooms with the red beans and rice. You know what I'm saying? With the mac and cheese, the cabbage, with the plantains. You know what I mean? Word to my mother. So we gonna see though. We gonna see what's going on. But anywho, how everybody good? Everybody, you know, I'm glad to see everybody in here, man. We going banoodles. We going brazy. If this is your first time in a community gathering, welcome to the community gathering. We are happy to have you. We are welcoming you with open arms. If you have any questions during this community gathering, please put the questions in the question box. And of course, because it is a community gathering, if you want to join me on the video call, we can have a dialogue. We can have a dialogue through the portable device. If you want to join me on a video, request a video, you can join in, man. You could join in. Now, for those that don't know, you know, if this is your first time, if you see me going back and forth, I have another device here that is also recording me, right, for my YouTube, right? So this is on Instagram. I got the other whoop-de-whoop on on YouTube. So again, if this is your first time on a community gathering, welcome. If you have any questions, put the questions in the question box, right? And if you want to join me on a video, on the call, on the Instagram live, just request a video, baby. Yeah. So so normally I start the community gathering. We got to get the energy right with the sound bowl, right? So the sound bowl, let me show y'all real quick. So this is your first time in a community gathering. I like to start off with the sound bowl, right? The sound bowl is tuned to the third eye, the frequency of the third eye, right? However, we will not be starting the community gathering with the sound bowl tonight, right? So actually about a week ago, so first off, y'all know you know what I'm saying? I speak about how I feel, right, in my soul that I'm native to this land, right? I honestly feel like I'm native to, well, I don't feel like, I know it's a fact. I'm native to this land. We was here first, right? My ancestors come here. They was already here first, native to this land. It's the reason why I glow red in the sun, right? So that means I'm Native American, right? So tonight, instead of doing a sound bowl, what we're doing tonight is I'm going to actually channel the ancestors, right? So for those that do not know, this is a Native American flute. This was actually handmade by Rosewood, handmade. I almost spent $300 on this flute. You know what I'm saying? It was just calling my name. So this is how we're going to be starting our community gathering tonight, besides the sound bowl. And then we're going to jump into prayer. However, we're going to still implement the practices as if we was doing a sound bowl, right? So as I'm playing the flute, 30 seconds, 30 seconds to a minute. Make sure you're breathing in and out of your nose. Make sure you're breathing deep within your abdomen. Why? Because first, we are soul and spirit beings. We are preparing and being in a state of controlling the flesh, right? Also, when the purpose of breathing deep within the abdomen is because, most of us, we don't use the full capacity of our lungs. We just pretty much breathe through through our chest. So you want to make sure we're putting all the air within our abdomen, in and out of our nose. If you want to close your eyes, please do. You don't have to, but just make sure you breathe out of your nose. Also, y'all, do not laugh at me while I play this, all right? This is my first, I ain't going to say this is my first time, but, I don't know how to play a flute. You know what I'm saying? So don't laugh at me. Again, we just channeling the ancestors, getting the energy right. Do your deep breathings. You know what I'm saying? Then we're going to jump into prayer afterwards, all right? So again, listen, y'all, don't laugh at me, all right? 30 seconds to a minute. We ain't gonna be long. Y'all ready? Let me make sure y'all ready. Drop some numbers real quick. 333s, 444s, 222s. Let me see some angel numbers real quick before we dive in. You know what I'm saying? Let me see some numbers real quick. Are we ready? All right, for sure. Bet. I give honor and thanks to the powers that be that have put me in a position to obtain the knowledge that I have, to not only be able to attain the knowledge, but convert that knowledge into wisdom, to be able to not only teach myself, but the people, places, and things around me. I send that same energy out to every being that's on this live, to every being that's in this community, to not only be able to attain the knowledge that may be spoken here tonight, but also be able to convert that knowledge into wisdom, to not only be able to teach themselves, but the people, places, and things around them. I also give honor and thanks and speak life and power into every being that's in this community, because I understand, and understand that without the community, there is no community. I also pray that every vibration, every frequency, and every word spoken tonight vibrates on the same frequency as love, light, power, and most importantly, truth. I give honor and thanks, and I speak life and power into the powers that be. Ashe, Asheo, Amin, and all of the above that you shall subscribe to. What's popping, y'all? Hey, did y'all like that? That shit was fire, right? Damn, who was that? For sure. Did y'all like that? Was that fire? So do y'all like that or the sound bowl better? What's up? Talk to me. Let me see. Kim, I'm tripping. Y'all like that or the sound bowl? I ain't gonna lie. I like that flute. That flute was fire. That flute was fire. Made me feel weird. Okay. For sure. I like the flute. The flute was fire, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Shit was amazing. All right, so boom. So as y'all can see, again, if this is your first time in a community gathering, welcome to the community gathering. We welcome you with open arms. If this is your first time, and if you have any questions as we're going through this community gathering, please put the questions in the question box. And if you want to join me on my live, please request the video and we can have a dialogue. We can conversate. You know what I'm saying? And do all the good shit. You feel me? Now, let's do it. Let's jump into this now. So as y'all can see, community gathering, y'all can see the topic, metaphysical consciousness, right? This is pretty much the extension of what I was speaking about last week, right? A sort of an extension of what I was speaking about last week when it came to time, right? Time not being real, time, time being an illusion, us being under the spell of time. However, I'm going to be diving more deep into the section of when I was speaking about 5D consciousness, right? You being pretty much an observer of time and space, right? Now, again, if you see me going back and forth, I have another device as well recording me for YouTube. So, of course, I got to give YouTube some attention and, of course, Instagram some attention. All right. So when it comes to metaphysical 5D consciousness, right, I do want to put this out here. Just a disclaimer. Right. The thing is, because what I was speaking about last week, it was a lot of people actually not really understanding what I was saying. A lot of other people were. And tonight will probably be like that as well, and like I said, if you do not understand, overstand, and understand what I am saying, that is okay. As long as you just stay in, soak up the knowledge, soak up the wisdom the best way you can, let it marinate, let it sit, and then eventually it'll hit you, right? Of course, right now it's probably just not your time, you know what I'm saying, to really understand it. However, I do just want to say this quick disclaimer. I can explain it for you, but I cannot understand it for you. All right. I'm going to say it one more time. I can explain it for you, but I cannot understand it for you, because we understand the power of the 3, 6, and the 9. I'm going to say that one more time. I can explain it for you, but I cannot understand it for you. Metaphysical 5D consciousness. All right. Now, we're speaking about beyond the physical, right? When you're speaking about metaphysics, right? You're speaking about the things that is beyond the physical, right? So when we break down the etymology of metaphysical, right, you get meta, right, which derives from the original word of netta, which means divine speech, right? This is what it was pretty much broken down to. You got metaphysical, broke it down into meta, right? And then, which the original word derived from netta, which means divine speech. Now, what does that mean, right? That pretty much mean when we're talking about metaphysical 5D consciousness, right? We're speaking about intuitive knowing, right? And what I mean, and how do you spell intuit? It's just like intuitive, right? So you got I-N, right? T-U-I-T, right? Intuit, right? And so, so when you speaking about intuitive knowing is pretty much like your intuition, like that inner person, that inner voice that's inside of you, which is why, I had, which is why, I spoke about the live about the power of being silent. You know what I'm saying? And I also said, when we break down the ancient scripts, it says, be still and know that I am God. And I broke that down as well. I'm going to break that down even more. But see, when we break down and we understand about the intuitive knowing, right? We understand that intuitive knowing is pretty much the knowledge that you were born with, right? Also, right, can be known as genetic memory, right? The knowledge that nature hands you, right? The moment of birth, the moment that you come into this 3D, 4D realm, right? Which is by way of DNA, genetics, ancestral lines, and etc. Right? And what I mean by that is, if you're not understanding that, is, for an example, well, beyond knowledge, right? We could break down fear, right? You could be afraid of water, but not even knowing why you are afraid of water, when you're afraid of water because maybe your great-great-grandmother probably drowned in water. So she's channeling you by way through the ancestral line to heal whatever trauma that was caused, that has been passed down to you. So that's just pretty much intuitive knowing. You know what I'm saying? That was just an illustration. Although intuitive knowing, intuitive, wisdom and knowledge can be broken down, of course, in many ways, right? Now, when we break down even more metaphysical 5D consciousness, one thing I want to make sure I put out there is that you were born perfect, right? You were born perfect, but you entered a system that made you imperfect due to the perception of yourself, right? I'm going to break this down again. You were born perfect, right? Now, I know a lot of people, they say, oh, I'm not perfect, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I have flaws. I need you to understand that not having flaws, right? Not making mistakes is literally the complete opposite of perfect, because in order to be perfect, you have to have some kind of wisdom and some kind of knowing to not do certain things, right? So perfect comes into where you're starting pretty much at the lowest of the lowest level. Right. And what I mean by that is, for an example, right, in order for me to tell you to stop drinking alcohol, right, in order for me to tell you to slow down on drinking alcohol, I have to drink. I got to be so turned up off Tito's to where I'm pretty much pissing and shitting out my liver. Right. And by way of experience, I'm gaining that knowledge. And now I can go around and be like, hey, listen, you need to slow down on that. You feel what I'm saying? We spoke about this before also, that wisdom comes with experience, right? Wisdom comes with experience. So again, you are born perfect, but you enter a system that makes you imperfect due to the perception of yourself, meaning that you don't see yourself. That's one thing, right? And I'm speaking about the majority of us, right? Let him who have ears hear, and let him who have eyes see, right? You don't see, or you've been programmed to not see yourself in this perfected state. So when it comes to perfection, we're speaking about beauty. We're speaking about strength. We're speaking about courage. We're speaking about love. We're speaking about different powers, right? It is always only in the image of the ones that's suppressing us, that is suppressing, oppressing, and depressing. And I'm not saying us, but just in general, right? You will only see yourself in a state of the one that is showing you based off suppression, depression, and oppression. What I mean by that is, we spoke about this before in a community gathering when I spoke about how when you watch certain superhero movies, for an example, when you watch The Hulk, right, you have to understand that the Hulk became strong and he became himself with all that great strength by way of gamma waves, right? By way of gamma radiation, right? However, a lot of us don't understand that our brain can also access that gamma wave frequency, which is one of the highest frequency of gamma waves within inside of the brain, which help us and aid us into tapping into our DNA and the powers that we have that they like to call 98% of jump DNA. Right now, why I bring this up is because when you see the Hulk, he does not look like me. He is not brown skinned. Right? He has no melanin. Again, you are born perfect, yet the system makes you imperfect due to the perception of yourself. So when you watch Superman, right, and we start understanding that Superman power comes from absorbing the sun. It's only one kind of skin color that literally absorbs the sun, and that is neuromelanin. So by way of watching these movies, these cartoons, these superhero movies, even anime, right? Right? And they tapping into their powers. They meditating. They doing all these and creating Dragon Ball Z, right? We see these and they don't look like us, right? The reason being is because the beings, right, that are the group of individuals, the system that oppress us, depress us, and suppress us, they know who we truly are. So if we was to go watch a movie, if we was to go watch Superman and he looked like me, do you not understand that by way of that image, me watching that image of a neuromelanated, carbonated being that literally is unstoppable and he absorbs the sun, what is that is doing to my subconscious mind? We have to understand, we broke down how the mind works. Your subconscious mind is 95% of your mind, meaning that your subconscious mind is what controls your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is what controls your thoughts. Your thoughts control your emotions control your actions. So if I go watch a movie and I see Superman is a neuromelanated carbon being, he absorbs the sun, my subconscious is going to now intake that, and my subconscious is going to now tell my conscious that there is nothing more powerful than you. So now my conscious is going to create these thoughts that I am unstoppable. So now my thoughts are going to now control my emotions, that no matter what room I step in, no matter what route I encounter, no matter what I do in life, I am going to be unstoppable. So now my thoughts now then control my actions. So not only am I thinking it, I'm actually being unstoppable. Representation. Are y'all listening to me tonight? Are y'all listening to me tonight? You are born perfect, but you enter a system that makes you imperfect due to the perception of yourself. So now when you go watch these movies, now when you go watch these shows and you don't see yourself, right? Your perception now is, although you can look at y'all know when I talk about different movies and different shows and give y'all different things to watch, I say don't just watch it, you got to watch it. So beyond that, from those that's not watching it, but they're just watching it and they see this perception, that perception of themselves is like, okay, well, I'm not beautiful. I'm not unstoppable. I am limited. I do not have the strength. I do not have the courage. This is how they program you in your subconscious mind, which again control your conscious mind, which control your thoughts, which control your emotions, which then control your actions. So you have to understand that even as us, this is why it's so powerful to have these different communities and to be together, because you have to understand that you are never their symbol. You are never their symbol of beauty, of intellect, of courage, of knowledge, of wisdom. But then when we go back in history, we'll understand that they learned all that shit from us. Now, again, we're talking about metaphysical consciousness. All of this is going to tie together, right? All of this is going to tie together, y'all. Be patient now. Y'all know how I get in. Y'all know how I get. I get real passionate, all right? But it's all going to come back together. Watch. It's going to come back together, I promise you. So now, once we go back into the program, and we have to understand something. Now, some people may agree with me. Some people may not. But as long as I spark a thought, that's all that matters. As long as I spark a thought inside of your equilibrium, that's all that matters, because it's very important to start thinking for itself. It's very important to start thinking, period, because soon it's going to become illegal. I said the next thing I have to say probably going to be a little controversial, and that's okay. But as long as I spark a thought, that's all that matters. Because in general, it is powerful to think now, because soon it is going to become illegal. White supremacy. You have to understand the root word, if you paraphrase, right? The supremacy, the white supremacy. You have to understand, you're saying that whites are supreme. And that is the complete opposite. What I mean is that we have been programmed to think that white supremacy is oppression, depression, and suppression. And that is the complete opposite. The reason why I say that is because you have to understand, what word are we putting after white? Supreme. But see, in order to be supreme, in order to be a supreme being, you have to have love. You have to have compassion. You have to have knowledge. You have to have wisdom. To be a supreme anything, you cannot be against nature. In order to be a supreme anything, you cannot be against nature. So we have been putting power, we have been speaking these spells over the beings that have been, and I'm not speaking about all, all Europeans. All right, let me throw that disclaimer out there. However, we as a community, and I'm speaking about my community, we have been putting and implementing power within that community, within the Europeans for so much, not even understanding. We've been programmed to cast these spells over them so they can continue to reign and be supreme over us. Hence, it's a reason why we've been programmed to call them the devil. Do you not understand how powerful the devil is? We've been saying that, it's white supremacy. Do you not understand how powerful it is to be supreme? To not go against nature? We're indirectly and subconsciously giving them too much power. To be supreme is to be more in tune with nature. To be in harmony with nature. This is how education keeps us mentally enslaved, because they give us these words. They throw these words out there. We take them without thinking. We take those words without thinking, and we start casting them spells, not knowing that it's energy harvesting. For those that don't know what energy harvesting is, I advise you to look it up. That's all it is. It's energy. So they program us to believe these things, to give us these words, and then we cast them on them, are y'all understanding what I'm saying? To be supreme is to be more in tune and in harmony with nature. Think about it. As a natural being to this realm, what in the hell do I look like getting up one day? I'm looking at an apple with seeds. I eat the apple, right? I eat the apple, boom, I see seeds in it. I see it's naturally growing from the tree, all of that, right? However, I sit back and I have this conversation and I think, what if I can create this apple in a way that it cannot reproduce itself? See, unnatural people do unnatural things. To be supreme, you have to be in tune and in harmony with nature. Hey, what y'all talking about? Who need to be kicked up out of here? I need to put a moderator on here so I can make sure I can have somebody watching the comments. You know what I'm saying? I can have somebody watching the comments to start kicking people out. Who need to get up out of here? You know, we vibrating too high to have anything. You know, hey, listen. That Danny guy. Is that his name? Oh, Danny Barlett? What he talking about? Let me see. Hold on. Let me scroll. Let me see what Blood talking about. Who likes Lucky Charm cereal? What the fuck? Hold on. Let me see what Blood talking about real quick. See, the community ain't really feeling you, Danny. That Danny dude. Hey, niggas ain't feeling you, Danny. You gotta get up out of here, Blood. Let me see. I'm gonna get you up out of here. Let me see. Matter of fact, I ain't even finna play with you. You feel me? You know, niggas too. Boom, we gonna do what it is. Don't even worry about it. Boom. So anyway, boom. Woot woot, you feel me? Distraction. You see, y'all see how the universe be working? You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say the universe, but y'all see how certain beings, they start working in certain communities that had these distractions. You know what I'm saying? But boom, he gone. We up out of here now. Hey, but look, let me see some numbers. Let me make sure everybody copacetic with everything that I'm saying. We talking about metaphysical consciousness. I just broke it down. Wooty whoop. Let me see some numbers real quick. Make sure everybody copacetic. Let me fix my other phone real quick because, you know, I'm gonna get the tripping. Let me see some numbers real quick. Everybody copacetic. I think I'm gonna put the other phone right there. All right, bet. Everybody copacetic. Everybody good? All right, for sure. For sure, I bet. So look, boom. When we go back to the words, this is why it's very important to research and start looking up the etymology and the real definitions of words, right? We got to start breaking them down because even when it comes to the English language, we have to understand that the English language ain't even English. Majority of those words are either German, French, and or Latin. Right? So you have to break down the etymology of these words, right? The words we use, right? The words we use creates the images that are implemented in our mind, right? Which then is a reflection of our perception, the way you see things. Right? It's the way you see things. Like the more words you know, the more you see, right? So for an example, right? If a painter walks into my room right now, right? because he knows certain words when it comes to that field, he's able to see his life. He's able to see a life in a different perspective, in a different perception. Same as a plumber. A plumber coming here, he's going to see something different than what the painter see. Same as the electrician. Right? You have three people, they're seeing the same room with different awarenesses. Based off the knowledge and the reality, the different realities that are presented within themselves. We're talking about metaphysical consciousness. I can explain it for you, but I can't understand it for you. So you have to understand that if you don't have a word for something, right? We break it down, metaphysical consciousness, the continuing of last week, right? So after this live, if you didn't watch the one from last week, I advise you to go back so you can have a deeper understanding of the 5D consciousness and the metaphysical part of what I'm speaking on. Now, if you don't have a word from something, right, you overlook it, right? The comparison of the painter, the electrician, the plumber, and etc. See, you only see based off the extension of your vocabulary and what you can comprehend. Hence, which is why I always say it is very important to break down the etymology and the definitions of the words. Right? The lack of knowledge of something, you look over it. But see, the more words you know, the deeper you can go in reality. You have to understand that perception is based on your knowledge. And what is your knowledge, right? You have to understand something. Knowledge is awareness. Remember, we have to understand the deeper metaphysical, we have to understand the deeper etymology of words. In the community, please ignore all distractions. Again, please ignore all distractions. We spoke about this in the community. We have to stop blaming the distractions and become more focused. All right? So again, knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is awareness. Being able to be educated, right? It's not knowledge, right? Because if you break down, and I posted this on my story, I believe like Monday, or either Monday or Tuesday, I broke down the etymology of education. Education means to hold back, to clear from, and or to train. No, that's school. Forgive me. Education, the etymology of education means to train, right? That means to train. That's not awareness. Knowledge is awareness. Education is to train. Hence, the etymology of school means to hold back, to keep from, and or a group of fish and or animals. Right? Now the question should be, what do you know? What are you aware of? And the reason why this plays in parts with metaphysical consciousness, right? Because you have to understand that words create reality. Again, words create, hence why they call it spelling. We speak about this all the time. Now, we have to understand that when I walk into the room, the more words that I see, the more reality that I can see. So just imagine if I become a painter, a plumber, and an electrician, and an electrician. And then when I walk into the room, right, because I have this knowledge, this awareness that, okay, when it comes to the painting, I see this scratch, this right here, the painting needs to go right here. I see the stroke needs to go this way, this, that, and the third. The plumbing, I see the plumbing supposed to be this way, that way. The electrician supposed to be over here. I see the electric, boom, boom. All of this creates a fire. The more words, the more knowledge that I have, the more I am aware of my surroundings. Words create reality. Hence why they call it spelling. The more words I see, the more of reality that I can see. However, you have to understand that words are not reality. See, now we finna get deep. Ooh. Listen, I can explain it for you, but I can't understand it for you. I can explain it for you, but I can't understand it for you. Words create reality. However, words are not reality. Words are nothing but symbols of reality. Think about it. Words are symbols of reality. We're talking about metaphysical consciousness, the 5D consciousness, being an observer, right, above the 3D and the 4D realm. Being an observer, you got the 5D. Remember, we spoke about this last week, right? We got the 5D consciousness. We observing time and we observing space. Words create reality. However, words are not reality. So when you break down, what is a bird? Just listen. What is a bird? See, if you go up to the bird and you ask the bird, what are you? The bird is going to respond, I am a being. Just like I spoke about last week, a lion doesn't know that a lion is a lion. A lion just know that it's being. Words create reality. However, words are not reality. You have to analyze everything that comes out of your mouth. This is why it's very important to pick and choose your words wisely. Now, when you start analyzing everything that comes out of your mouth, now you're going beyond etymology. Because now, yes, you can pick and choose and be very conscious of the words that you speak. But even when you speak the words, now you have to analyze what you speak. Everybody understanding, overstanding, and understanding what I'm saying. Let me fix my other phone real quick. Everybody understanding, overstanding, understanding what I'm saying. Let me see some numbers real quick. Make sure everybody paying attention. Make sure everybody paying attention. Now, Ashe. Now, right? A bird, right? When you look at a bird, and like I said, I can explain it for you, but I can't understand it for you. We're talking about 5D consciousness here. We're talking about the metaphysical consciousness beyond 3D and 4D, beyond time and space, beyond words, beyond the English language. I'm talking about nothing but frequency, vibration, and being. So when you look at a bird and you analyze a bird, that's not what it is. That is not what that thing, that lion over there is. That's not what that is. Remember what I said. Knowledge is awareness. However, education is to be trained. That's what you've been educated to call it. We've been educated to call a bird a bird. Educated. We've been trained to call it a B-I-R-D. You have to understand that being able to get past the English language, like I said, a majority of us not even understanding that the English language is not even English. It's Latin, French. Again, I see 9:12, the bird are dragons. We're speaking about things beyond 3D and 5D. I mean 3D and 4D. No names, just being. I mean, shit, if you're conscious of, if we're speaking about the 5D consciousness, if you go up to a dragon and you ask the dragon, hey, what are you? I'm being. I'm being. English language are the words that are creating the reality that we see. English language is words that are creating the reality that we are seeing. Hence, we were educated to think. We were educated to think that something is something. Then we agreed to label certain things, yet that's not what that is. Again, we're speaking about beyond etymology. Because even if we want to dive back into etymology, in the ancient scripts, it speaks about the Son of God. Yet when you look up the definition in the etymology of son, right, in the Bible, it wasn't used as a male figure. It was used as sound. When you look up the definition in the etymology of son, it means sown, which is SONE, which means sound. So when you break down the Son of God, the original text was, you're speaking about the sound of God. So when you become in tune and relatively on the same frequency of the sound of God, then you become the Son of God, which means nothing but sound of God. But see, we ain't gonna dive too deep. We're talking about metaphysical consciousness right now. So we ain't gonna dive too deep about that right there. You feel me? So we're gonna go ahead and move on. Again, you can look it up. You can look it up right now. Right? Son derived from sown, SONE, which means sound. Now, when we go back, right, and we speak about, and we go beyond the English language, right? A few of the greatest teachers that was there, that has been out, that we all know about, Jesus, Krishna, Buddha. I don't know if y'all noticed, but they all were illiterate. They couldn't read. They couldn't write. They couldn't count. Why? Because they were not interested in the English language, right? These beings of civilizations these beings, when you talk about Buddha, when you talk about Krishna, when you talk about Jesus, right? They existed before the English language. So what I mean is that, why is this important? It's important because when you don't know how to read, when you don't know how to write, when you haven't been educated / trained to believe and put a title on something of what it is, all you see is God. When you can't read, when you can't write, when you can't spell, when you haven't been educated by the system and been trained to put titles on certain things, on certain natural creatures. You don't see a lion, you don't see a tree, you don't see a bee, you don't see the sun, you just see God. And when you can look past the symbols of reality, listen to what I'm saying. When you can look past the symbols that you've been educated, that is reality, you can actually see reality. Same thing as when you're sitting in silence, you can hear more. Kind of like, right? When you sit in silence, you can hear more. You hear more of the important things. So when you get past the symbols of reality that you have been programmed to believe that is your reality based off perception, you don't see that reality that you've been programmed to believe. You see reality as what it is. For those that haven't seen the movie They Live, I advise you to watch it. Don't just watch the movie. Watch the movie. You see God. You see the activities of God. When a bee is pollinating a flower, you see the activities of God. When you take barely a centimeter seed and you put it down in the dirt and you water it and it grows into a tree, you see the activities of God. When you see the sun coming out and rising and setting and at its highest peak, and by way of our neuromelanin absorbing that information, you see the activities of God. You have to understand that God is and never was outside of our perception. The movie is called They Live. Now, when we speak about the history of God, and I'm not talking about the religious standpoint of God here, all right? I'm talking about ancient facts that you can look up yourself. Everything that I'm speaking about. Again, another disclaimer. Another disclaimer. Ladies, gentlemen, kings, queens, gods, and goddesses, listen, everything that I speak about, please go look it up. Do not listen to me. I know nothing. I watch cartoons and I come back to the community and repeat the cartoons, okay? That's just a disclaimer there. Believe me if you want, but just a disclaimer. The things that I speak on, you can look them up yourself. God was created in African history, the native history, right? So humanity in its infinity can never run out of something to rise to. I'm going to say that again. God was created in African history. So humanity in its infinity can never run out of something to rise to. Because if you don't have God, you can't rise. Listen, man, I be watching the Fairly Odd Parents, and I look at all that shit that they be talking about, and I just come back and I just repeat it, y'all. I'm telling you. Listen, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Fix this phone, man. Yo, I need to upgrade this other phone, man. Other phone be tripping. Oh, snap. Hold on, y'all. Telling you. Do your own research. Don't listen to me. But yeah, believe me if you want. Just a disclaimer. Now let's continue. Give me about 10 more minutes. Now give me about 15. Matter of fact, give me about 20 more minutes, y'all. Then we're gonna jump into the community gathering. If you, like I said, if you got questions, put the questions in the question box. If you want to join me on the live, request a video. You can join me. You know what I'm saying? We can go brazen. You know what I'm saying? Now, right? So we talking about metaphysical consciousness, right? 5D consciousness now. So my perception of God, right? And this is for me, right? This is for me. From my perspective, my understanding that is deep within my soul and my spirit. My perception of God is myself. right? If my perception of God is myself, in my spirit, that's what I see, right? If I see God within myself, then I will respect myself and I will honor myself as such, right? And so once I see and understand my perception of God as myself, and I'm respecting myself, I'm loving myself, I'm listening to myself, I'm honoring myself, now I can do something to break that perception, right? And or I can do something to enhance it. Hence, which is why shadow work is very important, right? Which is why when I slip up or whatever the case may be, or I'm not on my shit, I look in the mirror and and tighten up. I get on my ass. I get on my ass, right? But see, yet, what if I truly and solely know and believe that I am God? Now, what's going to happen is that there's something that is going to happen within me that's going to rise. And what's going to happen is now I'll do and be in the image that I see myself in. So now when I look at myself, I can either deny God or I can become God. Now I know, some people going to be like this, that, and the third about God, this, calling yourself a God. Understand something, right? We understand, overstand, and understand that we are all projections of creation, right? So, illustration. You got an ocean, and I'm sure some of us has heard this illustration. You have an ocean, right? You got this big, vast ocean, and you take a drop of the ocean out of the ocean, and you hold it in your hands, right? And you look at it, right? Is that that drop of ocean? Is that still not the ocean? Just because it's been taken out of the vast consciousness of the ocean, does this ocean, the portion of the ocean that's in my hand, is that still not the ocean? Does that ocean that's in my hand still not have the same DNA and the molecular structure of the vast ocean that I just took this from? So now when I take this ocean out of my hand and I put it back inside the vast amount of ocean, it then becomes the ocean once again. So now we can look at it from a perspective of there was no separation and there is no separation again. So now when I look myself in the mirror, because my perception of myself is God, I can either deny God or I become God. Whatever the mind perceives, your reality become real. This is why it's very important that as a community and in our environment to treat each other in certain ways. Because again, if we're all just projections of the ocean, and if I disrespect you, well, I'm disrespecting myself. Now, just another disclaimer. There are some people that just got you fucked up. And some of them probably ain't even a part of the ocean. Let him who have ears hear. Some of these individuals are just not even a part of the ocean. Yet, and or the individuals that are a part of the ocean, they've been programmed to believe that they're semen created by a manufacturer. They've been programmed to believe that they're nothing but rocks. They've been programmed to believe that they're nothing but benches that people sit down to watch the ocean. So again, some people have you just, because it's still balance. This spiritual shit ain't all love and light. Shit'll get gangster quick. Yeah. My ancestors were gangster. I don't know about yours, but mine was gangster. Right? Yeah, mine was gangster. Now, let me see. Let me make sure y'all understand what I'm saying real quick. Drop some numbers before I continue. Make sure y'all, let me burn some more frankincense. Get the energy right. Get the frequency right. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get the energy and the frequency right. See what y'all talking about over there. My ancestors was too. For sure. See, my ancestors was gangster, man. This shit running my blood. You feel me? Yeah. Niggas got you fucked up. Oh, okay, bet. You think shit all love? You think shit all love and light because I'm spiritual for sure. All right, I'm gonna show you some spiritual shit. All right, nigga. Hey, you heard in my song. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm vibrating high, but I still beat your ass. You feel me? Like for real, boy. Shit, boy. Who? Nigga think shit sweet cause you all niggas spiritual and talking to spirits and you meditating and doing yoga. Listen, I'm doing all this to contain the beast inside of me, nigga. I ain't doing this just cause nigga I ain't got no beast inside of me, nigga. I'm doing this to tame the beast, nigga. What you talking about? Like, nigga, niggas be tripping out here, bro. Like, nigga, for real, nigga. That's on Jesus sandals, nigga. That's on what you say, Kelly. That's on Mary had a little lamb, nigga. On me, nigga. Fuck, nigga. Ain't nobody doing yoga and stretching just to do it, nigga. Well, not me, nigga. I'm stretching, doing yoga, reading, and I'm healing, nigga. Cause I'm trying to tame the beast. Cause nigga keep playing with me, nigga. Hey. Relax. I don't want any beef. I don't want any smoke. That's why I always apologize first. Even if you bump into me. Oh, my bad, bro. Excuse me, bro. Cause I'm trying to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it going, man. I'm trying to keep it moving. Listen. You feel me? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? Cause that beast is still in there, my nigga. Shit, nigga. Cause see, even with me tapping into the love and light, like a lot of people don't understand that a nigga like me had to go in the dark to get to the light. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all know the tunnel. Y'all know the little illustration. Boom, you got to go through the dark tunnel to get to the light. But shit, but who? This shit wasn't all love and light at first, my dog. I promise you that. Nigga, I had to go through the dark to get to the light. But best believe, nigga, when I look back, but that dark is still over there. That's why I'm doing a lot of shadow work. That's why I got my journal, and every day I'm journaling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get rid of the shadow side. I'm not trying to suppress the shadow side. What I'm doing is becoming friends with the shadow side. What I'm doing is not letting that shadow side be an enemy, not just of external beings outside of me, but even an enemy to myself. That's the benefit of doing shadow work. Because it's not suppressing who you truly are, because it's balance. It's balance. It's about becoming friends with the demons, with the devils, and controlling them to work best for you. I bring up the movie Doctor Strange all the time, the new one. Like I say, don't just watch the movie. You gotta watch the movie. It's a part in the movie where he go against nature and the devils, the demon, the damned souls. They come trying to take over him, but he realized that he's more powerful than the shadows. He's more powerful than the dark side of himself. So he utilized them to work best for him. Now, there's an exercise, right, that we all finna do right now, right? And we talking about the metaphysical. We talking about the metaphysical consciousness, right? The 5D consciousness. Remember, last week I spoke about how we're actually nothing but observers of time and space when it comes to 5D consciousness. Now, some of us may heard this analogy that I'm about to break down, but it was beautiful. I had to, shout out to Chris, knowledge reigns supreme over everyone. Shout out to the God, right? Now, this is the exercise, right? I'm going to say this. We got money, right? Boom. We got gold money, right? Gold money. This is gold money. Before we start this exercise, let him who have ears hear, let him who have eyes see. Be still and know that I am God. The power of silent. Be still and know that I am God. Because we understand the power of the 3, 6, and the 9. I'm going to say it one more time. Be still and know that I am God. 5D consciousness. Now, you see this gold money, right? What we're all going to do on a count of 3. What we're all going to do on a count of 3 is we're going to say gold money, but we're not going to say it out loud. We're going to say gold money, but we're only going to say gold money to ourselves inside of our mind, inside of our brain, inside of our equilibrium. Right? 1, 2, 3. So if you followed along, you just said gold money in your mind. Now, let me ask you a question. When you just said gold money in your mind, what voice is that just spoke? You just said gold money to yourself without moving your mouth at all. On top of that, you actually hear yourself saying gold money. How can you hear yourself, yet there's no vibration of sound that has happened? Now, of course, that puts things in perspective, right? A lot of us are saying, I just heard myself, I heard God, I heard spirit. What sound is that? And what memory? Now, that puts a perspective of what sound is that and what memory is. Because memory is in the soul, right? Your knowledge, your experiences, and etc., right? However, you saying gold money in your mind, really in your being, what voice was that? What was the voice that spoke and then yet you heard yourself speaking? No ears, no mouth, no vibration, no frequency that just took place. But you spoke and you heard it. Gold money. It's kind of like when you close your eyes, right? You can see yourself. It's like manifestation. You can close your eyes and you pretty much see more. So now we got to start asking ourselves, what is this spirit that can see your future and your past? Because again, when we close our eyes, we can jump into the future. We can envision the future and not necessarily envisioning the future. But what's happening is we're actually seeing our future play out the way we want it to play out, not knowing that every thought that we create literally creates another reality. So when you have that thought, when you have that envision, you actually create a reality that now exists, and that now you can be on the same track to live in that reality. Hence why time isn't real. The past, present, and future is all at the same time. If you don't understand, overstand, and understand that, I do advise going back to the live from last week. This is nothing but an extension. Metaphysical consciousness, 5D. We observing the 3D and the 4D, observing time and space. So that voice that's just that just said gold money inside of your mind. That voice that just said gold money inside of your mind is the 5D that is observing the 4D and the 3D. What is the sight that can be seen beyond time? Being able to close my eyes and I'm able to go back in the past to envision myself riding a bike. The excitement that I had when my bike was finally off the training wheels and I'm riding down the big hill. I'm able to relive those emotions. I'm able to relive that experience. For those that don't know, they actually have people that do hypnosis that can hypnotize you to make you go back in time. And in that present moment, you're actually experiencing your past moments. Being able to speak without moving your mouth, hearing without your ears, seeing without your eyes. How is that possible? We're talking about metaphysical consciousness here. 5D, observing 3D, and observing 4D. Now, with us being soul, energy, frequency, vibration, conscious being in the flesh, you have to understand the true divine connection of the senses and the being beyond the flesh. Because now we have to start paying attention. Okay, well, we have physical senses, right? But now, when we put the perspective of us just being an observer of this time and of this space, now we have to start putting in perspective of the senses beyond the physical flesh. Hence, which is why I spoke about a few lives ago in a community about death, how death is an illusion. You can go back to that live as well. Everybody understanding, overstanding, and understanding what I'm saying? If you have any questions, please put the questions in the question box. If you want to join me on my live, request a video. Give me about 5 more minutes and then we're going to dive into the community gathering. Now, when we dive more deep within the metaphysical consciousness, you have to understand that the limitless being of you, the limitless, listen to what I just said, the limitless being of yourself is that voice that just said gold money. That voice, that being is immortal. That being is observing and also here all at the same time. Hence, which is why time is not real. Because you're observing your past, present, and your future all at the same time. So when we talk about the body being three-dimensional, which is direction and time, 4D, three-dimensional, four-dimensional, right? And our physical reality, right, is always like up, down. You know, like I said, shout out to the God, Chris. You know what I'm saying? Up, down, left, right. You know what I'm saying? But what happened to in and out, right? In and out, internal, external. The voice that just said, gold money. The voice that exists, the being that exists without the body. I pray everyone is understanding, overstanding, and understanding what I'm saying. The being that exists without the body. All this shit is an illusion. Facts. Let me see. Yeah, I've heard that. For sure. Now, just give me 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, then we're going to dive into the community. Now, when we're talking about metaphysical consciousness, when we're talking about the 5D observing the 3D and the 4D, right? This is where manifestation comes in, right? Where manifesting come in, right? When I spoke about before about manifesting, one of the most powerful things you can manifest is once you write down what you want to manifest, you know, whatever your dreams, your goals, whatever the case may be, you know, you write it down, right? And you meditate on it. You sit there and you meditate. Now, during your meditation, during manifesting, you can actually envision yourself living the life and or having the things that you want. What are you doing? You're tapping into the future, right? The only way you can tap into the future is by being an observer. Because the future hasn't happened yet. So now what you're doing is from this 3D realm, because you're meditating and now you're in a moment of manifesting your life, what you do is you ascend from the 3D realm to the 5D realm to observe the manifestation that you want to happen to tap into the future. And remember what I said. Every possibility that you create in your mind, you create in reality in another dimension. So you can be in 3D realm. You can be in 2000. What is it? You can be in 2022. We're in 2022 October. However, you can tap into the 5D, your 5D consciousness. Your consciousness that is beyond time and space. You can tap into that. And now you can jump into your manifestation beyond time. And let's say you want to manifest a house, right? So you're sitting there. You tap into your 5D consciousness that is now observing the future, the reality that you want to create in the future. So now by observing that and creating that possibility, it actually becomes a possibility in the unifield. All you got to do now is bring it into your reality. So as you're meditating and you're manifesting, right, you're tapping into the feelings of how you're going to feel when you walk into that new house. How you're going to feel when you drop the check on the house. How you're going to feel when you go into the backyard. How you going to feel when you start building your raised bed gardens, or you building your studios, or you building your canopy, or whatever, your pool, whatever the case may be. You're tapping into the feelings. Not only are you tapping into the feelings of the future, you're tapping into the process and the journey of what helped you and assisted you into getting into what you manifested and what you're trying to manifest. We're going beyond time here. Metaphysical consciousness, 5D consciousness. You're being an observer. So you're in 2022 observing that, But by imagining that, by thinking that and creating that reality, you're like, okay, by 2025, this is what's going to happen. Now, at a point, it's going to be your consciousness, your future self, right? Your 5D consciousness is going to be like, no, Tone, you're in 2022, but I'm in 2025. I know we've all seen those videos of where people are doing like things that like a lot of people haven't thought of. And they say, oh, this dude is in 2033. Oh, this dude is in 2040. Think about what we're saying. But this is where manifestation comes in. So then when you create that reality and when you get up from that manifestation, from that meditation, right? And like I always say, before you take your first step after that meditation, you want to envision yourself walking through a portal and walking into the life that you just manifested. Think about what I'm saying. You're walking into the reality that you just created by way of mind, by way of 5D consciousness that is beyond time. This is why it's important to sit in silence. Go back to my live, my community gathering, when I spoke about the importance of being silent. Because when you're in silence, when you go beyond 3D and 4D, the verse says, be still and know that I am God. You start to hear the important things. Did everybody understand, overstand, and understand tonight's lecture? Y'all know I don't really be having too much of conclusions. I don't really say, well, in conclusion, I just end that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So does anybody, everybody, and every being on here understand, overstand, and understand what has been spoken tonight as far as the topic? Let me make sure everybody understand. Let me check this right here. All right. Everybody understand for sure. Oh, okay, bet. Yeah, okay, everybody in here, everybody listening. Because I see some folks over there, they playing Temple Run. Some other folks came in 10 minutes late. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a little, I get a little passionate on these lives, man, on these community gatherings, man. So, if I startle you, forgive me, for I am not sorry. I was on track with this topic much better than last week, for sure. That's okay. Last week is going to hit. You may need to watch it probably about 2-3 more times. That's all that is. That's all that is. You got to understand that once you realize that it just gets to the point where once you realize that you're not only in this dimension, but in other dimensions, you now are free. I said, once you realize that you not only exist in this dimension, but in others' dimension, you are now free. Because you also have to understand that whatever happens to you in this reality, in this dimension, that's not your reality. Think about it, right? Think about Jesus, for an example, right? In the Bible, it says that Jesus got crucified, but he wasn't tripping, right? I'm just reading. I'm just quoting the story of Jesus, right? Right? Jesus died on the cross. He blurted out, "Forgive them, for they do not know what they do." Yet even before that, he said that do with the flesh as you please. Do with the body as you please, for I am not here. This is what Jesus said. This is why it's important to read. This is why it's important to not just read, but you got to read. Do with the body, do with the flesh as you please, for I am not here. So once you realize that you not only exist in this reality, now you are free. Once you become more spirit and soul, once you become that more inner voice, now your outer voice has more power. Hence, for those that haven't been in the community before, I spoke about how in ancient times, we never even utilized our voice unless it was time to manifest something. Unless it was time to actually manifest and bring things from the spiritual reality, from the unifield into this physical reality. That is the only time we used our physical voice, the vibration. Other than that, we communicated by way of telepathy. We communicated by way of energy, frequency, and vibration. Once you become more inner voice, your outer voice has more power. Hence, the power of being silent. Hence, why I do not touch my phone when I first rise. I need at least 3 to 4 hours. No talking, no music, no phone calls, no TV. The first 3 to 4 hours when I rise. Why? Because I'm tapping into that inner voice. I'm tapping into that heart chakra. I'm tapping into the 5D consciousness that is beyond me. Because I know when it's time for me to speak, I'm speaking with power. I'm speaking with passion. I'm speaking with assertiveness. I'm speaking because I'm sure of what I'm speaking on. And now when you speak, it's not just the shell that speaks. There's another being that's within this shell that speaks through the shell. Hence, why when you become more inner voice, your outer voice has more power. Hence, why I say in most community gatherings, I say that this is not me speaking. This is spirit working through me because I'm nothing but the shell. Because I'm nothing but a vehicle. I have a spirit and a soul within inside of me. So when I get these uploads and I start speaking with passion, oh, that ain't this. Do what you please with the flesh, for I am not here. That is not this speaking. That is something, that is a being beyond me. I pray everyone understand and understand what I'm saying. I pray everyone understand and understand the vibrations that I speak. We're gonna tap into this community gather. I know I say about 5-10 more minutes. Y'all know how I be, man. You know, time isn't real, so I can say 10 minutes. What's 10 minutes? Ugh. Peach posh, potato. Okay? When I say 10 minutes, oh shit. When I say 10 minutes, y'all know what I mean. When I say 10 minutes, I say either give me 20 minutes or give me 30 more minutes. What's time? What's time? All right, let's dive into these questions, y'all. I see a lot of questions. I see a few people that want to dive in, that want to join the community, that want to join on the video. Let me see what's going on. Let me chap into these questions real quick. Okay, so boom. So somebody asked, what does your grocery list consist of on a regular basis? I'm going to keep it gangster with you. For the past 3 months now, my grocery list has been fruits, on top of fruits because I've been juicing a lot. About a week ago, I just got off of a 7-day juice fast. I be posting all of my raw stuff. I love it raw. You know what I'm saying? I be eating a lot of raw food. I've been mostly raw these past 3 months. I'm gonna keep it gangster with you. Here and there, maybe like once or twice a week, I make a meal or I eat out. But as far as my grocery list, baby, I've been eating real raw. You know what I'm saying? And I've been feeling amazing. I'm gonna keep it gangster with you. Shit, y'all see it. Look, let me move the smoke real quick. Shit. Look at the face. You see the face. You see my energy. You feel my passion. You know what I'm saying? I got the crown chakra covered up right now. You know what I mean? Because, my aura will be bursting out. You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all know. Listen, y'all know how shit get down, man. So I just been eating raw. You know what I'm saying? These past 3 months, and I actually been loving it, man. I've been loving it. I only eat once a day. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. I pray I answered your question. Let me see what other questions. So somebody asked, are you going to do a recipe cookbook? Yes, I am. I'm working on it right now, actually. I'm actually redoing the Thebloodthatheals.com website. It should be up by the first month of next year, by the first quarter, like January 2023. That's when I'm gonna have cookbooks on there. I'm gonna have my consultations on one website. Like everything is gonna be on one website. So yes, I'm gonna have cookbooks. I'm gonna have about 3 cookbooks. I'm gonna have probably 2 cookbooks. I'm gonna probably have a juicing cookbook, and I'm gonna have an actual meal. It's gonna be different sections. Raw. You got cooked. You got alkaline. You know what I mean? Yeah, we good. So, boom, let me see what other questions we got real quickity split. You feel me? So somebody asked, knowing that we've always been on our journey, but in this lifetime, what caused you to change your life to go on your spiritual path? So I'm gonna keep it gangster with you. I'm glad you asked that question. So, let me see. And I explained this before, but of course I don't have a problem with explaining it again. Of course, we got new beings that's present amongst us. Welcome once again. So when it comes to my spiritual path, I'm gonna keep it gangster with you. I feel like I've always been on it. And the reason being is because when I look back on my life period, I realized that in some cases, for an example, the illustration is that I could be in school, right? I could be in elementary school, right? And a kid could do something, right? And he get in trouble, but it's like a slap on the wrist. But if I do the same exact thing, my punishment and consequences are 10 times worse than what the kid that just did it before me get, right? And when I look back on it, I realized that, so that's one illustration. Another illustration is that, even when I was in the street life and, you know what I'm saying, living a certain way, I realized that my mind was more expanded than a lot of individuals that I was around. The way I move, the way I speak, the way I think was more expanded. It was more advanced than the individuals that I was around. Right. And so when it comes to the consequences and the repercussions of things, when I look back on it, I realize that when you come from high places and when you have beings in high places that instructed you to come down here to fulfill a certain mission, they not finna play with you. You know what I'm saying? Although your environment, your community, and then this system is going to, of course, taint and aid and assist in you forgetting your mission and forgetting why you even came down here. However, you still have beings in high places that communicate through you through signs and symbols for the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. So when you don't pay attention, or when you hear that inner voice inside of you and you don't listen to that voice, now you got these beings that where you came from in high places, they looking down and they like, oh, this nigga want to play. Oh, she want to play. Bet, take care of her. Bet. Make sure her consequences is always 10 times worse. Why? Because you are the chosen one. You are the light amongst the darkness. You are the light amongst the darkness. So you want to keep playing? Bet. You want to keep playing? So these are of course your consequences, because you ain't come down here to play. You didn't come down here to play. So your consequences and repercussions is going to be 10 times worse than these other humans, because you ain't human. You are a God. So stop playing and tighten up. So to answer your question, we still on the question, right? So beyond that, right? So again, yeah, I've always felt like I was always on my spiritual path. Of course, when I look back on it, right, in a subconscious point of view, in a subconscious perspective, when I became more conscious of my spiritual path was when I was locked up, you know what I'm saying, to keep it gangster with you. And my bunk mate that I had, who was big on like the conspiracy things or whatever the case may be. And so we were going back and forth with different conspiracies. He mentioned a term called GMO. At that time, I didn't know what GMO was. He told me what GMO was, but because I like to think for myself, I went to go look up what GMO was when I got home. And from there, I started eating all organic. I'm still eating meat. But then what happened is that when I started to consciously change what I put inside of my body, information without me even searching for the information just started dropping into my lap. It just started literally just coming to me. And so from there, I just started being, I eat chicken. Then I went pescatarian. Then I went vegetarian. Then I went vegan. Now, the reason I emphasize that is because I am a firm believer that food seeks spirituality through us, and we speak spirituality through food. And when the moment I decided to make the conscious decision to watch what I put inside of my temple, how do you expect to enter the temple of God when you can't even take care of the temple that God gave you? When I became more conscious and more aware of what I put inside of my temple, in a way, right, my DNA started to unlock. I started to remember who I was. I started to get on the journey back to myself and back to the mission of why I even came down here. So I pray I answered your question. That's what made me start pretty much, the spiritual path on a conscious note. On a more conscious note. All right, so I see a couple people that want to come in on the live, but for whatever reason, I can't. For whatever reason, I can't see. Like, I can't add y'all. I don't know what's going on. When I click on it, it's like it's loading, but the people ain't popping up. I don't know. We're going to give Instagram some time, because y'all, man, these platforms, boy, I tell you. So Unique said, I've never been clearer thinking than when I was vegan. Well, it all depends on what you was doing. What were you consuming when you were vegan? Right? Because I also say just because you're vegan doesn't mean you're healthy. I know people that's not vegan and that's healthier than vegans. You know what I'm saying? The reason being is because, a lot of vegan food today is processed. Now, so just a disclaimer, right? When I say vegan, I'm saying that for lack of better words so people can understand like my lifestyle. However, like my inner being, I like to just call my diet, I'm a natural eater, or I'm plant-based. You know what I'm saying? I'm a natural eater. I eat things that's more natural. I don't eat a lot of boxed food. I don't eat a lot of processed food. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what, you know what I'm saying, what chemicals you was putting inside of your body, because the chemicals could have your body in a chemical imbalance. So, yeah, I would say, I just say vegan just for lack of better words, but to the community, y'all know I'm plant-based or I'm just a natural eater. Like I said, I've been eating raw for the past 3.5 months, for the past 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So boom, let me jump into these questions. I see a few people trying to join with the video. You know what I'm saying? But Shit, I don't know. Instagram ain't letting me see. So let's go back to the questions then. Somebody asked your thoughts on the sun. Get in the sun. Shit. Soak it up. Hey, shit. Stimulate them neural pathways, them neurotransmitters, and that neuromelanin. I don't know exactly how deep you want me to go about the sun. I can go deep about the sun, but I'm gonna need, some questions, you know what I'm saying? Or, a speaking point to start from, because I can go in different directions when it comes to the sun. So let's jump back into these questions. So somebody asked, what are your views on aliens? I believe that we're the aliens. If you understand about what neuromelanin, carbon, and dark matter energy is, it's pretty much exploded. Which is like our molecular structure comes from exploded stars, right? That's where exploded star systems. Carbon. You know what I mean? And then when you break down alien, the etymology of alien means that something from the Most High. So, my views on aliens, I feel like we're the aliens. If you want me to keep it gangster with you. Let's see. Somebody open your lega to the sun, ladies. Oh yeah, for sure. What? That's one of the reasons why I can't wait to get my land. What? I'm finna be on my land butt naked. I ain't finna play no games. But stop playing. What? All my men, the gods and the goddesses, if you can get butt naked in the sun, get butt naked in the sun. I'm telling you, charge up. Charge up. All right, so make sure y'all put the questions in the question box, y'all. And I see a few people want to join, but unfortunately, I don't know what's going on. But when I click on to try to add somebody, it ain't even let me see the names. All right, so hopefully within the next few minutes, I'm able to get somebody on here. But I'm gonna go ahead and go back in the. So somebody asked, what are all the pieces around your neck? So, what I will do, I will explain this one, right? So this right here was made from ebony wood, right? It's very powerful, very spiritual, protection, the basic things. However, it was made from ebony wood, handmade. It has 100 pieces around the neck. It symbolizes the 100 names of God, right? So, yeah, that's as much I'm gonna break down. When it comes to these, you know what I mean? Some things are better off not said. So let him who have ears hear. Somebody asked, how did you quit smoking weed and transition into this lifestyle? I'm gonna keep it gangster with you. The reason why I stopped smoking weed was because I was in the streets smoking weed. You feel what I'm saying? Like I was in the streets. I was, you know what I mean? I was blowing down, and I had a specific occupation. I was self-employed in a way where I was able to roll up a blunt, spark it, and as soon as I spark the blunt, I'm rolling up another one. So as soon as this one go out, I can light the next one up. That was like my everyday, all day ritual, right? So I realized that, of course, I wanted change within myself. I wanted change within my life, right? So in order to have change, I pretty much decided to change damn near everything about me. You know what I mean? Because, like they say, insanity is doing the same things over, expecting a different result. So I'm like, okay, I examined my life. I examined my environment, my surroundings, and also my actions. I had to take self-accountability. So I looked at certain things that I was doing. And so I decided to cut out certain things to create change, right? Within myself, within my environment. And so that's what I did. However, I'm not saying I won't smoke. You know what I'm saying? What I will say is that I don't smoke now. But what I will say is that when I get on this land, and when a nigga start cultivating, hey, who knows what lifestyles I may adapt. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Who knows what lifestyle? And hence, it's the reason why I said when I get on my land and I start cultivating, because I know that when I start cultivating my fruits and vegetables, let him who have ears hear. When I start cultivating my vegetables, you know what I'm saying? I know for a fact it will not be full of chemicals. I know for a fact it's going to be organic. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact it's going to be able to be reproduced. You know what I'm saying? If I try to reproduce it, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Let's see what other questions y'all got for a nigga, dog. All right. So somebody asked, I know you are intelligent. So I would want you to do a community gathering on your opinion on marriage and what do you think marriage is? And to you, is there a deeper meaning to be aware about? It actually, yeah, it definitely is a deeper meaning. Well, I ain't gonna say a deeper meaning to marriage, but what I can say is that the Western style of marriage, from my perspective, all right, just a disclaimer, you know what I'm saying? From my perspective of marriage, the Western perspective is that for me, marriage is a business. You know what I'm saying? It's not like once, and again, this is my perspective, right? Once you get married on paper with the government involved, you now are a business. You know what I'm saying? The love foundation is gone. You know what I'm saying? It's all about, I'm not going to say it's all about money, but the main point is now about business. You know what I'm saying? Like partnership, and if y'all split up, or who do what, and this, then that, you know what I mean? So I'm going to say this, right? If I choose to get married, which of course I do want to, right? I necessarily would not want a traditional Western like marriage. Like, yeah, we can have a ceremony. I would want our ceremony to be more spiritual than, I really want real spiritual practices to bond us and to make a real oath to not only ourselves, but to the creators, right? Because the Holy Trinity is Mother, Father, and Son. So I would want to, hence why in Genesis it said, let us make him in our image. Let us make them in our image. Let us, right? So, I would want us to make a real conscious and spiritual bonding oath, right? And vows, not just for ourselves, but also to the creators, to the powers that be. I would definitely want something more spiritual, something more bonding. However, I also feel like, in a way, when you have a child, I also feel like when you have a child by someone, right? I feel like having a child by somebody is more bonding than anything. Right? Because when we speak about the physical aspects of sex, right? When you have a man ejaculate inside of you, that man ejaculation actually becomes you, because you have to understand that, yeah, it enters your uterus, but you have to also understand that your blood cells carry this semen up into your pituitary gland, which is your master gland, to activate certain hormones inside of your glandular highway. So now that semen that's inside of your uterus can be activated so you can conceive. So not only does that semen sit inside of your uterus, but it also sits inside of your equilibrium, your brain as well, right? So I feel like, honestly, sex is more bonding than marriage. I feel like having a child by somebody is more bonding than marriage. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my perspective. Yeah, that's just, You know, when it come to marriage, man, I would want something more spiritual than just this on paper government. But I damn sure don't want the government involved. I damn sure don't want the government involved with my marriage. I'm gonna just keep, and that's just me. Now I know some people on here are probably married. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Man, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you keep the foundation of love, because that's amazing. Shout out. But however, for me and my wife and or wives, hence wife and or wives, because I don't want nobody getting the wrong idea. I don't have a problem with settling down with one woman. However, if the universe presents itself to multiple women, I'm okay with that, right? And it's more so to have real generational wealth, because even when we speak about multiple wives, like men, like the times that we in today, men look at multiple wives as something that's fucking fun, and it's not, right? And then we bring up oh, what the kings used to do. First off, we have to understand that the kings, they only married multiple women. So if something was to happen to the king, those women that are amongst his kingdom can still stay in the position to run the kingdom. Majority of the kings wasn't even having sex with all the women that he was married to. You know what I'm saying? So even when it comes to polygamy, like, bro, like multiple wives is not something to just like have fun with. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother conversation. You know, a lot of men not ready for that conversation, because a lot of men look at it as, oh, it's fun. It's this, man, fuck all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? What are you creating? You know what I'm saying? What are you creating? What's the generational wealth that you're creating? If you're going to have all of these women around you, how are you leading them? What is your purpose? Right? What is your route? What is your focus? Because if you have no path, right? If you don't even know your own path, right? How are you going to lead 2-3 other women on a path that they supposed to be on? You know what I'm saying? Like men, we not ready to have this conversation, because I shut that shit down quick. And then when we want to talk about the kings and what the gods had, you have to understand, like I said, when the kings, they basically, for lack of better words, so everybody can understand what I'm saying. The kings hired these women in his kingdom to be teachers, to be cultivators, to grow his food, to have natural wisdom when he's going to war, or when he needs some kind of counsel, therapist. He hired these women in his kingdom. And so, to be wise, he married these women. So if he died, if he transitioned, these women can still be in a position to run the kingdom. Not saying that he was having sex with all these women. He was just wanted to make sure that his generational wealth was protected. See, men ain't ready to have this conversation. We just want to look at polygamy. Oh, man, shit, I can bust down multiple women who I'm having fun. Man, nigga, please. You ain't doing what are you creating? What generational wealth are you creating? When I mean generational wealth, I'm not just talking about, oh, you creating something. I'm talking about you actually being solely invested into the women that's around you, because women multiply everything, by the way, right? You can never be, as a man, you will never see a man, and I'm talking about also a neuromelanated man. You will never see a neuromelanated man as successful as he can be unless he has either a queen and or a queen next to him. I'm telling you. And then on top of that, you know, men, we walk around and we talk about how, oh, polygamy, I could bust down multiple women, yet you ejaculating all the time. Nigga, you killing yourself. Nigga, you got 2 wives. You got 3 wives. You got 3 wives. And every wife you done had sex with tonight, nigga, you done ejaculated. Nigga, you killing yourself if you want me to keep it gangster with you. Let alone if after you ejaculate, if you're even fully present with the other 2 wives that now it's time for you to engage with. If they just sister wives, and they not engaging with themselves, but they only about you. So now you gotta please one, then you gotta go please the other one, and then you gotta go please the other one. But you just ejaculated on the first one. So the second one, you're not even fully present. On the third one, nigga, you tired. She can't even get all of you. You ejaculating, man, niggas ain't ready to have this conversation. Niggas ain't, cause you don't even know your own path. A lot of men, man, y'all don't even know we don't even know our own path. So how is you gonna lead? How are you gonna lead 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other women? How? Then on top of that, you don't even know how to cry. You don't even know how to, you don't even know how to properly express yourself as a man. You think shutting down, not crying, and not expressing yourself is okay and healthy. Man, listen, before you even get in any relationship, my nigga, you need to have a relationship with yourself. Before you get in a relationship with even one woman, you need to have a relationship with yourself first. Come on, man. Somebody said they don't even know how to read. Chill out. Don't do the homies like that. He said they don't even know how to read. Sheesh. Man, niggas ain't ready to have that conversation. We brag about how we want multiple women and this, that, and the third. Nigga, man, please. Nigga, you don't know how to lead. You don't know how to express yourself. You don't know how to be vulnerable. You don't know how to be open. Nigga, you so hard all the damn time. Nigga, you hard like this with your daughter. Nigga, you gonna be hard like this with your daughter, nigga? With your daughter, nigga. With your 1-year-old daughter. When she say, Daddy, let's go play tea party. Nigga, you gonna be hard, nigga? Man, if you don't go sit your soft ass, man. Anyway, let's go back into the questions, because we may be getting a little carried away here. Okay? Let's see what other questions we got. Let me see. Oh, somebody asked, what did you think of Woman King? Oh, man. Okay, so Woman King. I don't know if y'all have seen that movie. Woman King was very dope. I definitely cried myself. It was amazing, especially when Shorty got shot trying to save the little Shorty. I was like, if y'all see me in the movie, I was like, oh, man, I just started crying, like, but it was a beautiful movie. It was definitely an amazing movie. However, when I suggest y'all to go watch movies, I also say, hey, listen, you can watch the movie, but don't just watch the movie. You got to watch the movie. When it speaks about the Dahomey tribe, we have to understand that the Dahomey tribe were pretty much working with the slaves and, the Europeans and the Moors, right? So if you watched Woman King, the men that came in on the horses with the raps and, those were the Moors. The Moors were working with the Europeans to enslave us for money. The Dahomey tribe were, a tribe that also worked with the Europeans to create the kingdom that they have based off of enslaving their own people, right? However, like I said, it was a dope movie. And again, I watched the movie. However, like I said last week, when I do look at the movie, I do wish that, we start having movies that emphasize the melanin family and that also emphasize the melanin woman living a soft life. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, it was a dope movie, however, we got to look at it from different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of movies today, man, that's coming out when it's dealing with the melanin people, the neuromelanin people, especially the melanin woman, she's always hard. You know what I'm saying? She's always going through trauma that makes her hard. However, it'll be nice to see a movie. It'll be nice to see a movie that a neuromelanated woman she has a family, a melanin family, and she's living a soft life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I pray I answered your question. You know what I'm saying? But, I pray I pray I answered your question with that. Woman King was definitely amazing, though. I can say that. Let me see what other questions, man. I don't know why Instagram not letting me do adding nobody in today, man. I see a lot of people trying to add. I see a lot of people trying to jump into the I see a lot of people trying to jump into the live, man, but I don't know what's up with Instagram, but yeah, I mean, Woman King was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful experience. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful, beautiful movie, but like I said, it's okay to look at things from different perspectives, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have to start thinking for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? God is God and I am not. Soft movies, would it be interesting? There would be no conflict. Well, no, I'm not saying soft movies. I'm saying as women, as melanin women living a soft life and having a family, that conflict. Now okay, soft, soft. I'm not saying soft as weak, right? Let me reiterate that. I'm not saying soft as being weak. You know what I'm saying? So if we have it's a reason why they want melanin families split up. It's a reason why they've been programming our melanin women to say that they don't need a nigga. And it's a reason why they've been programming our melanin men to say fuck bitches. It's a reason why. Please excuse my language. But it's a reason why. Because they know how powerful the melanin family is. So with me saying soft is not me saying weak. So if it is conflict, shit, we're going to take care of it. I'm just saying that, majority of the movies, when it's dealing with our divine feminine goddesses, it's a goddess that has gone through trauma and she has to be hard. You know what I'm saying? And there ain't no soft life. She can't be in her divine feminine. And then a man can't be in his divine masculine. There's no balance. So when I say soft, I'm not saying, so when I say a soft life, I don't mean weak. I just mean just being able to be divine, so I pray you understand what I was saying. Let's move on to these questions, y'all. Unfortunately, I don't know what's up with Instagram. I can't really add nobody in, but we're just going to jump through these questions and then we're going to go banoodles. Let me see what else. Let me see what other questions y'all got for me, man. Somebody asked, can animals hold human souls? Like, can a soul that was once in human flesh come back as a dog, cat, bird, or tiger? That's a beautiful question, and I'm glad you asked that. Honestly, I don't believe that's possible. However, I can say that it is possible for a consciousness human being to channel certain animals to deliver certain messages. That's what I can say. Hence why last week, I believe when we spoke about dreams, there was somebody saying that they keep having a dream of 3 black dogs chasing them. And I gave them the perspective of, and I said, change your perspective. When you have these dreams, when you have the dream the next time, control yourself and no longer run away from the dogs, because these dogs may be delivering a message to you. Now, can a human soul basically reincarnate and come back as a animal? I don't believe so. I can't. Like I said, I can't. I do believe that a consciousness can channel an animal and deliver certain messages. Now, the reason why I say I don't believe it also is because you have to understand that just because our flesh may seem small does not mean our spirit and our soul is small as well, right? And so this flesh may have been the smallest that we could go when it comes to incarnating in this physical realm. Now, if you try to incarnate into a dog or a cat or a tiger, whatever the case may be, your soul and spirit could be vibrating so high. Your soul and spirit could be so high vibrational that if you even tried to, you could actually combust that actual animal. It wouldn't work. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, I do not believe that a soul, a human soul, like our soul, a galactic soul and or spirit can incarnate inside of an animal, because it'll combust of how powerful and how vibrational we are and can be by way of consciousness. But I can say that because we are so high vibrational and metaphysically consciousness, we can channel certain animals to be able to deliver messages. So I pray I answered your question on that. Okay, somebody said I cannot control myself in my dreams. I'm yet to learn that. What I can say is try meditating, right? Try meditating. And when I mean meditating, I'm talking about actually sitting down, meditating. Let me see. You could drink. So there's a tea called mugwort and motherwort. You can drink mugwort, motherwort, and you can drink mugwort, motherwort, peppermint, and lavender and chamomile. You can drink those 5 herbs within a tea, right? And before you rest, right? You want to make sure that you're focusing on your breath before you actually rest. All right. Because then you will be able to tap more into your dreams. And I like to call them journeys, your trips. Another thing that I advise you to do as well is that is start writing your journals down. Start writing your journeys down. Because what's going to also do is it's going to help you get more connected with your journeys and your dreams. So now when you do lay down and you know what I'm saying, you start your journey, which is nothing but you astral projecting. That's all you're basically trying to do. You're actually just trying to develop the powers of being able to be conscious while you astral project. All right. So I definitely advise you doing that. I pray I answered that for you. Let me see what else we got going on. Let me scroll up. That's a lot of questions. Okay, so somebody said I have an interview for my dream job coming up and it requires for me to get inoculated. Do you know what documents I could provide to get out of it? Religious or medical documents? It's stressing me out bad. Yeah, for sure. You can go. I forget the website. I'm sure somebody in the community know, but you can go to a website to get, you know what I'm saying, to get excused for that. However, you know how the politics is. You know what I'm saying? I guess that right there would definitely just have to be, you know, if the documents. You know what I'm saying? You can look it up. It's called the exemption form. I can't say the word because y'all already know what's going to happen if I even try. So I got to say inoculated, right? Right. So if you have if you were able to just look up like the inoculation exemption form, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? But you know how them jobs is, man. Politics, man. But congratulations on the interview. You know what I'm saying? I also pray you get the job, you know, and not have to get inoculated, you know, but if you have to, then that'll be a decision that you would have to make amongst yourself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for sure. All right, boom, boom. Somebody said, no, fuck that job. Hey, buddy. Shit. All right, come on. Let's jump into these. So somebody said, how do we get back to the ocean based on your example? So basically my illustration was me tapping into God, like being in the God state, right? So basically how to get back to that ocean, how to get back to your God, basically the journey back to your higher self. Shadow work, of course, healing, and analyzing your environment and your surroundings and your actions, and start asking yourself certain questions like, does this serve my higher purpose? Does this serve me? You know what I'm saying? Start tapping back into yourself. Silence is one of the main things that I spoke about. So, I'm glad you asked that question. I definitely advise you going back a few weeks, or actually like 2 months ago, I did a live about the power of being silent. You can also go on my YouTube as well. I think that'll probably be easier. The Blood That Heals, that's the YouTube. You can go on there and you can look at the live, the community gathering that I had about the power of being silent, because when you're not watching TV, when you're not listening to music, when you're not watching something, when you're not constantly being stimulated and you're being in silence, you can hear more of the important things. You hear that voice, you hear that your inner feelings, right? Which is why in the scripts it says, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God, right? So I pray I answered your question, man. It's just about being it's about going within first off. You know what I'm saying? You have to go within or go without first. You know what I'm saying? You have to go within before you go without, right? Just like you have to go down to go up, right? So I pray I answered your question. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, people sell the cars too, though. You know what I'm saying? People sell the car. I forgot about that. Yeah. You could probably, you could probably get along with somebody that's selling them cars. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, you know what I mean? Yeah, you get them cards in, boy, you will be straight. Boy, shit, boy. Somebody asked, how do you pick what topics you talk about? Honestly, I meditate, man. I meditate like an hour and a half, 2 hours before the community gathering, and the topics come to me. Tonight, I wanted to just pretty much do kind of like a part 2 of, the last weeks when I spoke about, the illusion of time. You know what I'm saying? And dive more deep into the 5D, observing the 3D and the 4D. However, like I said, shout out to Chris, knowledge reigns supreme over everyone. The God, you know what I'm saying? He broke down some real powerful things that, that I learned from. And I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Tell me, what's your spirit animal? I don't even know my spirit animal. I'm gonna keep it gangster, which I really feel like my spirit animal is a snake, which is why I got the, you know what I'm saying? Which is why I got the double-headed snake. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, but I don't know though. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it gangster with you. You know what I'm saying? I gotta tap into that. I don't even know my spiritual, my spirit animal. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, you feel me? Somebody, you see the goddess? She's saying, DM me with the jab card. She trying to get the card. Somebody tap her in. She ready to spend that bread. You feel me? Word to my mother. Let me see what's going on. I know real life men who are this way and would think a woman who cries is emotional unstable. Oh yeah, that shit, Bryson. Hey, yeah. So to an extent, somebody asked, what do you wash your fruits and veggies with? I wash my fruits and veggies with apple cider vinegar, baking soda, pink Himalayan sea salt, and some cold water. I let them guys soak. You know what I'm saying? So somebody asked, what are some things that have been revealed to you as far as you working on your heart chakra? A lot of things that has, one of the things is that, probably a basic answer, but to love, even if it hurt, you know what I'm saying? Also knowing and learning that forgiveness is my superpower. You know what I'm saying? Me learning how to forgive and not hold grudges is my superpower. You know what I'm saying? Because at that moment, I would say that would probably be the main thing, because forgiveness is also operating out of the heart chakra. You know what I'm saying? And so me being able to forgive, I'm able to release and fully let go, You know what I'm saying? Because once you start holding on to things, you hinder yourself of the abundance, prosperity, and success and the blissfulness that is your birthright. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I always say, when you're manifesting or when you're trying to create a new life, you have to learn to let go of the old things so you can make space of the new things. So if you're holding on to grudges, if you're holding on to things that people are not saying sorry, but you know what I'm saying, they're not saying sorry, so you waiting on them to say sorry to forgive them, you're not understanding that you're holding yourself back. You're holding yourself up. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I had to learn on my own. I had to learn that with working on my heart chakra. Just forgive. You know what I'm saying? And forgive to the point where, you don't have to forgive and be naive, like you forgive and then you deal with the same shit over. Like, nah, that right there, there's no way in healing in that. You know what I'm saying? You forgive and then you go back to the situation, or you go back to dealing with the same individual or the same circumstances. You can't heal from something and yet you still dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? You still engaging with what you're trying to heal from. So with me opening my heart chakra, definitely forgiving and learning to just let go to create the things that are for me. You know what I'm saying? Because what's for you won't miss you. That which you desire desires you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, forgiveness for sure is one of the main things, man. So I pray I answered your question. Forgiving and moving on, man. Forgiveness is my superpower. All right, let me see. Somebody said I can, Piles Butterfly, I can easily forgive others, but I have a very hard time forgiving myself. I'm glad you said that as well, because that is something that I had to face on my own as well. But I feel like I have been in a space of forgiving myself for a while. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why forgiving others was hard for me is because my heart is big, right? My heart is big. And, if I love you, then it's anything you ask of me. If I love you, it's anything that you ask of me. And when I feel betrayed, when I feel undervalued, when I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like I'm not being appreciated, then that shadow side comes out. That my heart actually speaks from a space of it protecting itself. You know what I'm saying? So it was just hard for me to forgive others, but now I'm in a space of forgiving. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to forgiving yourself, that's definitely something that you have to work. You know what I'm saying? Within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Egypt said, "Fuck them people." Hey, how the song go? It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Forgive them. Fuck them, but forgive them. And then even when it comes to anger, like, you have to understand that sometimes anger is permissible. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying earlier. Like, bro, some people will just be playing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let a nigga play. Don't let nobody play with you. You feel what I'm saying? That's 100% for sure. You know what I'm saying? However, you know what I mean? You can still forgive while you angry. I forgive you, now get on my face. May peace be upon you. When I say may peace be upon you, that means ain't nothing else we need to talk about. Be gone, disappear. You do not exist to me anymore. May peace be upon you. So I pray I answered your question. Let me see. Somebody asked, have you experienced what some would call an ego death? 100%. 100%. I honestly feel like I'm still going through that ego death, which is why, during my prayers in the beginning of the community gatherings, I pray that every word, every vibration, and every frequency spoken tonight is far away from ego, but vibrates on a vibration of love, life, power, and most importantly, truth. You know what I'm saying? So So yeah, 100%. I feel like I definitely experienced the ego death multiple times. You know what I'm saying? So shit, I'm still going through it. You know what I'm saying? But forgiving yourself is definitely powerful. Yeah, man, you got to learn how to forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, like I said, man, when you dealing with other people, when you start forgiving other people and you don't want to deal with them no more, like I say, may peace be upon you. Once I say, may peace be upon you, it's a wrap. Once I say, may peace be upon you, there is nothing else we need to talk about from here on out. May peace be upon you. And I honestly mean it. I pray that you find peace. I pray that you find the peace within yourself. Because one thing I had to realize is that I felt like I was always at war for a very long time, not knowing that I'm at war with nobody but myself. That's why last week when somebody, I think it was last week or the week before last, when somebody asked me about the devil, the biggest and the baddest devil I've ever experienced was myself. I'm gonna keep it gangster with you. I have never experienced nor met a devil bigger than myself, because I was my own hindrance. I was my own letdown. I was my own disappointment. I was putting my own self in certain situations that I knew I wasn't supposed to be in. I was dealing with things and putting myself in certain environments where I knew I wasn't supposed to be. I was creating, either subconsciously or consciously, I was creating my own reality. The biggest and the baddest devil I've ever met was myself. So I pray I answered whatever question that was asked. Y'all know how the community gatherings get. You know, we start going in different directions, but of course, you know, hey, sometimes it's needed. You know what I mean? Whoever need to hear this, then hey, it's for you. So let me see. Oh, somebody asked, do you ever feel pain from your ego dying? Like something inside is dying, all while you feel like you're coming more alive at the same time? Of course. What? Listen, transparent. Let me see. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Let me see. All right. I had to make sure my mom wasn't in here real quick, because my Dukes left. All right, cool. Because, you know, my mom, she get real emotional. You know what I'm saying? Because after this community gathering, she'd end up calling me after I explain this, right? So I just wanted to make sure my mom wasn't in here real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of like a one-on-one kind of thing, you feel me? But however, to the question about, do you feel like you experience a real death when you have an ego death or something inside dying you? Just as a transparent moment. Y'all know I love y'all. This community gathering wouldn't be a community without the community. When I was going through my ego death, like I'm still going through an ego death, like I said, which is the reason why I pray the way that I do about the things that I speak. You know what I'm saying? I pray it's away from ego. However, when I realized that I was on my ego death, the moment I realized I didn't realize I was going through an ego death until afterwards. However, as I was going through my ego death, I literally was contemplating suicide. This is me being transparent and open. I was contemplating suicide. Like I was actually about to bolt myself to the floor. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, yeah, 100%. That's something that I experienced. Some people may not experience that, and that's okay. However, that is just something that I was experiencing. You know what I'm saying? I was literally contemplating suicide, to bolt myself to the floor, to get on up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So some people, ego death, you know what I'm saying, may not be that intense. You know, others may. You know what I mean? However, mine was super intense, man. I had a lot of things to face. I had a lot of things to not just go through, but grow through. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shadow work I had to do amongst myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, to answer your question, I was feeling a lot. Like I didn't want to be here. You know, I was about to bolt myself to the floor. Shit get real when you dealing with healing. Man, that shit get real because you also have to understand when you dealing with healing certain emotions, it's a reason why they call emotional eaters because we are suppressing the emotions we don't want to deal with. And so you have to think about when we're suppressing emotions by eating, when we're suppressing emotions by just constantly being distracted by music and TV and external things outside of us. Hence why I say being alone, being silent is powerful. Right. So when we're constantly being in an emotion of being distracted because we don't want to deal with those emotions, after a long period of time, you have to understand how many emotions you're suppressing. I'm 26. I dealt with the ego death this was last year. I kid you not. This was last. So I was 25. This was a year ago. I was 25. So you got to think about from, I would say once I became, I'm not even finna say once I became conscious of trauma, because I'm sure I was probably dealing with trauma when I was a child that I probably can't even remember. So with the trauma with the trauma and the emotions that I was dealing with as a child, all the way up until 25, and I'm finally dealing with emotions. I'm finally doing shadow work. I'm finally addressing the feelings that I've been suppressing by smoking every day, by drinking every day, by being in the streets, by expressing destructive behavior because I didn't know how to express my true feelings. And now I'm at 25 and I'm dealing with them. What? Intense. That's an understatement. I had it. I was about to bolt myself to the floor. But all I could do, that picture right there, all I could do was see that guy right there. That's it. All I could see was that guy right there. Not the dude with the do-rag. I'm talking about the kid with the hoodie on. That's all I could see the whole time. And but of course, you know what I'm saying? After a while, you know what I'm saying? Once I started to realize, you know, what I was growing through, it was an ego death, man. So, yeah. I pray I answered your question. I see Dukes back up in here. For sure. So let me see what else up in here, man. Let me see these other questions y'all got, man. What's up, my Dukes? Let me see what other questions we got. Let me see. Somebody asked, what part of Africa are you from? Shit, I would say I'm from everywhere. I don't know. Shit, I'm from everywhere. Somebody asked, have you had a DMT spiritual connection? 100%. Yes. I've only done it. I've done it twice. I love you, Dukes. I've done it twice, actually, but the first time I done it, man, I was in the streets. It was like recreational. But the second time I done it, it was, you know, I knew it was going to be like a spiritual, I knew it was going to be a spiritual experience. So yes, I have done that experience. Let me see. So somebody asked, is seafood okay to eat? I'm going to say this, right? Now, again, you know, facts don't give a fuck about feelings. I'm just here to give the facts. All right. However, when it comes to eating certain foods, right, you have to understand the energetic level that certain foods have. You know what I'm saying? And you also have to understand the biochemistry of how the body breaks down. So what I will say is that it is more high vibrational to eat live food, such as greens and fruits and grains and quinoa and nuts and things in that nature, right? However, I always say I am not an extremist. So I'm not here to tell you what you shouldn't eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to tell you you don't need to be eating anything. What I will say, I will give you the facts of how the body breaks down, the biochemistry of the body, and you can use that knowledge from there. However, because I'm not an extremist, because I have, you know what I'm saying, because I have, you know, individuals that eat, what I will say is that if you do eat seafood or whatever you eat, I just ask that you do your body the due diligence to be able to break down and eliminate that food, right? So like I say, so for an example, if you eating crab legs today, you know what I'm saying, for the next 2 to 3 days, you know what I'm saying, bust down some fruits. You know what I'm saying? This is just a disclaimer, right? So if you eat seafood today, right, for the next 2 to 3 days, bust down some fruits. Take in your fruit juices, take in your vegetable juices, so your body can just pretty much, rebuild and be able to eliminate and give your body the due diligence to be able to, you know what I'm saying, eliminate the things that you put inside of it. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not an extremist. Eat what you gonna eat. Just make sure, you do your body the due diligence to be able to eliminate the things that you put inside of it. Because again, I taught y'all, if the body does not eliminate, it accumulates, right? So with a steak, right? You have to understand something. With a steak, a steak takes between 8 to 15 days to digest in your 8 to 12 foot digestive system. 8 to 12 days. So just imagine if you're eating steak every other day, every 2 to 3 days. You're not giving your body time to digest. So now what happens is, if your body doesn't eliminate, it accumulates. So now your body is accumulating all of these complex proteins that's now leaking inside of the gut, that's now leaking inside of your bloodstream. You know what I'm saying? That's clogging up your arteries. That's not letting the small intestines, that is backing up your entire lymphatic system. I'm gonna just say that. All right. So just, if you're going to eat what you're going to eat, just basically give your body the due diligence to eliminate. So, for sure. I pray I answered your question. Let me see. Hey, y'all, we probably finna get up out of here. Unfortunately, man, I don't know what's going on tonight. I see it's 33 people that wants to join me on a live tonight. Y'all know how we do. We get people joined in. We have other conversations. We go deep. We have dialogues. You know what I'm saying? Tonight, it say 33 people. I click on it. It ain't even showing nobody. It just keep loading. So unfortunately, we can't add nobody up in here. But of course, it was still beautiful. The community gathering, it was amazing. I thank y'all for being a part of the community. It's 11:30 my time. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate y'all, man. I pray that y'all understood and understood everything that I spoke on tonight. Again, I can explain it for you, but I can't understand it for you. So if you did stay and you try to at least just take the information in, I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you for doing that. Just let the information marinate, let it sit. And who knows, within 2-3 days or a week from now, it's going to hit you. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to understand everything that's supposed to be understand inside of you. Again, for those that don't agree with me, that's okay. I'm not for everybody, but I am for the right people. All right. So we about to get up out of here, y'all. I truly appreciate y'all. We got to end with prayer. Right. And then I got one more last thing to say, and then we gone. All right. And then we up out of here. I give honor and thanks to the powers that be that have given me the position to obtain the knowledge that I have, to not only just obtain the knowledge that I have, but also convert that knowledge into wisdom, to not only teach myself, but the people, places, and things around me. I send that same energy out to every being that's on this live, to every being that's in this community, to not only have the power to learn the knowledge that was spoken tonight, but also convert this knowledge into wisdom, to not only teach themselves, but the people, places, and things around them. I also give honor and thanks to every being that is in this community, because I also understand, overstand, and understand that without the community, there is no community. So I speak life and power to every being that's in this community. I also give honor and thanks, and I'm thankful. And I also pray that every word, every vibration, every frequency that was spoken tonight was vibrating on a frequency of love, life, power, and most importantly, truth. I give honor, thanks, and I speak life and power into the powers that be. Ashe, Asheo, Amen, and everything, all of the above that you shall subscribe to. I come as I am. I am who I am. Who I am not, I will never be. Love me for me, or do not love me at all. I am a great man, and I'm going to show you how great I am. I shall leave as I come. Peace.